We're back inside. Can you believe it? We're back inside after all this time. I'm Christopher from Stellar Shows. I'll be your host tonight, and we have a heck of a nice show lined up for you. Thank you all for coming here to Campus JAX. You know, if you look up the word vintage music in Webster's dictionary, you'll see a picture of this next artist coming up. His name is Pappy Stuckey, and he's been seen in Santa Clarita with the Lucky Stars. He has been a member of the Hawaiian band, the Hukalau Hot Shots, playing vintage Hawaiian music. He's got a band called the Hot House Gang, which specializes in vintage dance music from the 30s and 40s. And he's also in a hillbilly band named the Dave and Deke Combo. But tonight, you get him as Pappy Stuckey and his Campfire Concerto. Please make him welcome Pappy Stuckey.
I appreciate that. There we go. There it is. Well, have you seen Miss Molly? Her cheeks are rosy red. Lips are soft as satin and they taste like gingerbread. Oh, 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 me. Oh, my Miss Molly, I'm in love with you. Oh, me, oh, my Miss Molly, won't you say you love me too? I'll trade my horse and saddle. From driving I'll resign. If only Miss Molly would just say that she'll be mine. Oh, 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 me. Oh, my Miss Molly, I'm in love with you. Oh, me, oh, my Miss Molly, won't you say you love me true? Look out now. Now, when Miss Molly's smiling, the sun is dim as spell. When she laughs, her voice is like a little silver bell. Oh, 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 me, oh, my Miss Molly, I'm in love with you. Oh, me, oh, my Miss Molly, won't you say you love me too? Now I'll build a home for Molly in a shady little glen. We won't be so happy if only she'd say when. Oh, 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 me, oh, my Miss Molly, I'm in love with you. Oh, me, oh, my Miss Molly, won't you say you love me true? Yes, sir, now. Now listen here, Miss Molly, I done told you this before. And even though I told you so, I'm gonna tell you just once more. Whoa, 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 me, oh, my Miss Molly, I'm in love with you. Oh, me, oh, my Miss Molly, won't you say you love me too? Thank you kindly. Oh, I appreciate that. Oh, boy. Miss Molly, that's a tune sung to great effect by the great Tex Williams. Bob Wills and the Texas Playboys did that one. It was written by one of the great unheralded songwriters of pop music, I think, Cindy Walker. She wrote that tune, and she wrote so many great songs and, you know, Western swing tunes that I'm sure a lot of you know, Deep Water and Bubbles in My Beer and, oh my gosh, You Don't Know Me, which turned into a big pop hit for people from Peggy Lee and whatnot. But she worked for a long time. All of her songs were good. I'm not sure what's in the set. We may even do another one of hers. It's hard to avoid Cindy Walker tunes. Anyway, so pleased to be here. Glad Chris asked me out here and get to open for the great Mr. Stamey. Yeah. Our Lucky Stars got to play some festivals with him in past years. And he draws them in, man. Now, when you look up often in Western song books, music books, you'll often see the tempo is indicated in the upper left corner. And there's one called a cowboy lope. And that would be this right here. And it works for a lot of them. Let's see it on this one. Every day along about evening, When the sunlight's beginning to fail, I ride through the slumbering shadows along the Navajo Trail. When it's twilight and crickets are calling and coyotes beginning to wail, I dream by the slumbering fire along the Navajo Trail. Now I love to lie and listen to the music while the wind is strumming a sagebrush guitar. Well, now over yonder hill the moon is shining. You'll always find me wishing on a star. But what do you know? It's morning already, with the sunlight so silver and pale. It's time to climb into my saddle and ride the Navajo Trail. I love to lie and listen to the music while the wind is strumming a sagebrush guitar. Now and over yonder hill the moon is shining. You'll always find me wishing on a star. But what do you know? It's morning already, with the sunlight so silver and pale. It's time to climb into my saddle and ride the Navajo Trail, and ride the Navajo Trail. Thank you. I attempted a fade out like on a record, but you know how it goes. Along the Navajo Trail, 1945. Cool thing about that song is it kind of falls into the genre I like to call Hollywood Western. And these are the tunes that, well, you saw the singing cowboys sing in all the movies with Roy and Gene and everybody. But they were often written by Tin Pan Alley songwriters, just pop songwriters. And the way they wrote these things is so well is that they kind of set the picture that we all have of the West. They added a lot to the imagery and the mood and just the whole feeling we have about the West comes a lot from these guys who are just writing for movies, and they wrote jazz tunes and whatever. Along the Navajo Trail is one of those. That you think of that as being a traditional, like a Western tune, but it's, they probably didn't get any further west than Fifth Avenue in Manhattan, I think. So, but they wrote some doggone good songs. That was one of them. It's from a movie called Hollywood Canteen. Roy Rogers, I think, was the first guy to sing that. I'm not sure. So speaking of Hollywood Western, it's fun to do these tunes, really, because there's so many great ones. There's this one, which might be, I guess you'd say, this is probably about the original drugstore cowboy. You know how it is? He looks good, but he doesn't know anything about it, right? Well, I'm an old cowhand from the Rio Grande, and my legs ain't bold, and my cheeks ain't tan. Well, I'm a riding fool who is up to date. I know every trail in the Lone Star State, 'cause I ride the range in a Ford V8. That's what I do. Yippee-yi-o-ki-yay, baby, yippee-yi-o-ki-yay. I'm an old cowhand from the Rio Grande, and I learned to ride before I learned to stand. Well, I'm a riding fool who is up to date. I know every trail in the Lone Star State, boy. I ride the range in a Ford V8. I got it mixed up. Yippee-yi-o-ki-yay, baby, yippee-yi-o-ki-yay. That's a cowboy trumpet. I came to town just to dig the band. Now I know every song that the cowboys know from the big corral where the doggies go. I learned them all on the radio, that's how. Yippee-I-O-Ki, well, yippee-I-O-Ki, I'm an old cowhand from the Rio Grande, where the west is wild, along the borderland. Well, there the buffalo roam around the zoo, and the Indians run up a rug or two. The old Bar X is a barbecue. What do you think about that? Yippee-I-O-Ki, baby, yippee-I-O-Ki. I'm a pioneer who was grown from scratch. I don't bat an eye in a shooting match. They don't call me Elmer, they call me Satch. Yippee-I-O-Ki, baby, yippee-I-O-Ki. Thank you. Oh, that's awful nice. Really appreciate that, folks. Yeah, I'm an old cowhand, 1936. The guy that wrote this one, a guy named Johnny Mercer, I'm pretty sure he didn't get west of Sunset and Vine when he was writing these songs. I mean, he wrote a lot of stuff. He wrote You Must Have Been a Beautiful Baby. He wrote Jeepers Creepers. He wrote Fools Rush In. And then he knocked this one off, which Bing Crosby sang in a movie with Martha Raye and a bunch of folks. And it's just great. It's just great fun. And it plays on the genre and plays against it. It's a fun thing. I'm an old cowhand from the Rio Grande. All right. Now, after I wet my whistle, and I do mean my whistle, here's one I'm pretty sure most of you know. Wildcat Kelly, looking mighty pale, was standing by the sheriff's side when the sheriff said, Kelly, I'm taking you to jail. Wildcat raised his head and cried, oh, give me land, lots of land under starry skies above. Don't fence me in, let me ride through the wide open country that I love. Don't fence me in, let me be by myself where the west commences. Gaze at the moon until I lose my senses. Can't look at hobbles, I can't stand fences. Don't fence me in, just turn me loose. Let me straddle my old cattle up and down the mountainside. On my cayuse, let me wander over yonder till I see the mountains rise. I want to ride to the range where the west commences. Gaze at the moon until I lose my senses. I can't look at hobbles, I can't stand fences. Don't fence me in. Kelly, back in town again, his sweetheart standing by his side. When his sweetheart said, hey Kelly, come on, let's settle down. Wildcat raised his head and cried, oh, give me land, lots of land, under starry skies above. Don't fence me in, let me ride through the wide open country that I love. Don't fence me in, I want to ride to the ridge where the west commences. Gaze at the moon until I lose my senses. Can't look at hobbles, I can't stand fences. Don't fence me in. You folks know that tune, don't you? Don't Fence Me In. Written by the eminent Western writer Cole Porter. Wait, no, what? Yeah, hell of a cowboy. I guess on Fifth Avenue he probably was. Right? Yeah, Cole Porter wrote that tune. He took a poem that already existed by a guy named Richard Fletcher, and he reworked it, used a lot of the same language as this poem, but gave it the Cole Porter touch, and did it. It was done by a bunch of Kate Smith, I think, was the one who debuted it, but everybody did. It became kind of a big pop hit too. One of his biggest songs, but I guess he wasn't a fan of it. But you know, what are you going to do? I'm sure he didn't mind the checks that came rolling in, right? Every 5 minutes, I'm sure. All right. Now at this part of the show, let's talk about a guy named Jimmie Rodgers. Yeah, there you go. Jimmie Rodgers. Yeah, there you go, exactly. Now, Jimmie Rodgers, for folks who might not know, he's often referred to as the father of country music. He was around in the 20s, and he didn't live long. He was only 35 when he died, but he wrote a ton of songs, influenced a lot of people, but I think father of country music sort of sells him short, because he recorded with blues groups, he recorded with Hawaiian groups, he recorded with jazz groups, he recorded with Louis Armstrong, and he had a really wide influence. I think probably between him and Louis Armstrong, those two guys are like the fountainhead of most American popular music, I think, starting in the 20s and going forward. So we're going to try one of his that he wrote with a guy named Clayton McMitchin, who was in a band called the Georgia Wildcats, who Jimmie recorded with. He recorded this song with them. And I think my snaps are hitting the guitar, and it's very annoying. One rolled up, one rolled down is not very cool, but well, when it's peach picking time in Georgia, apple picking time in Tennessee, cotton picking time in Mississippi, everybody picks on me. Well, there's bluegrass in old Kentucky, Virginia's where they do the swing, but now way down in old Alabama, it's gal picking time for me. Now I said there's bluegrass in old Virginia, that's where they do the swing. Way down in old down Texas, I'm coming in the spring when it's roundup time in Texas. The cowboys make whoopee, but way down in old Alabama, oh, it is gal picking time for me. Now when we get to picking cotton, that's when we'll pick a wedding ring. We'll go downtown, buy a little gown for a wedding in the spring. Well, I hope the preacher knows his business. I know he can't fool me, but he's picking time in Georgia. Well, that's gal picking time for me. That's Jimmie Rodgers. Thank you. I got those lyrics a little messed up, but you won't fault me for that, will you? I think if Texas is supposed to go first, as most people from Texas would tell you. I'm going to try this one. This is a nice. This gig was a fun opportunity to get some songs that I really like and don't often get the chance to play. And this is one, so I hope I remember all the chords. Day and night are falling as the wind begins to sigh, and the moon is silhouetted against the sky. Blue shadows on the trail, blue moon shining through the trees, and the plaintive wail from the distance comes a-drifting through the evening tide. Move along, blue shadows, move along. Soon the dawn will come and you'll be on your way. Until the darkness sheds its veil, there'll be blue shadows on the trail. Move along, blue shadows, move along. Soon the dawn will come and you'll be on your way. Until the darkness sheds its veil, there'll be blue shadows, blue shadows, blue shadows on the trail, shadows on the trail. Thank you kindly. I appreciate that. I really do. That was a tune from 1948. It's from a Disney animated feature called Melody Time, if you don't know that. It's great. The Sons of the Pioneers, you know, so you got the 4 stacked up harmonies, and man, there is nothing like that. That's magical. But they do the tune on that in that cartoon. And just to show you, following up on the thing about these writers were just writing good songs, no matter what they, you know, it was just their job, right? I imagine, like in the Bugs Bunny cartoon, it's like 2 writers. Morning, Harvey. Morning, Bob. You know, what do we write today? What classic do we write today? How about Blue Shadows on the Trail? Okay, that's a good title. Let's do, you know. But just to think of it this way, one of the writers on the tune, a guy named Elliot Daniel, he also wrote the theme song to I Love Lucy later. So, you know, it didn't matter. They'll make a classic in any genre, you know. I find that fascinating. That was back when songwriters wrote for singers, and then they pitched the songs, you know. And in Nashville, it was the same way. But now it's, you know, singers write their own songs and all that, which is great too. But I just love that idea that there was a whole industry. Tin Pan Alley was a street on Fifth Avenue where all the music publishers had writers, and they all were upstairs with pianos, usually in teams, working together. And that's how all these songs that we know, from, you know, As Time Goes By to, I mean, you name it. These guys just wrote it, just like, that's just another day writing great American standards. You know, I just love that perception. This song, not so much that, but well known, even though it was written in 1921, this next tune. And I think because it was really made very popular by Bob Wills and the Texas Playboys. This was one of their big timers. And I'm going to do it with the verse, which he didn't. But that's the other thing. You hear most of these songs that you like and you know the chorus to them. There's usually verses for all of them, but a lot of them didn't survive the time. People just quit doing them and they just sort of dropped out of the repertoire. But it's fun to do them when you find them. Whether I am right or whether I am wrong, but someone else makes love to you, so don't blame me for feeling blue. Though you pass me by, I just don't know why. I can't get you off my mind, no matter how I try. Right or wrong, I'll always love you. Though you're gone, I can't forget. Right or wrong, I'll keep on dreaming. Still I wait with that same old regret. All along, I thought I'd lose you. Still I pray that you'd be true. Oh, in your heart, please just remember, right or wrong, I'm still in love with you. About that cowboy trumpet again. No, right or wrong, I'll always love you. Though you're gone, I can't forget. Well, right or wrong, I keep on dreaming. Still I wait with that same old regret. Yes, all along, I knew I'd lose you. Still I pray, baby, that you'd be true. In your heart, please just remember, right or wrong, I'm still in love with you. That's right. Thank you so much, friends. Thanks to Campus JAX for having me, and thank you all for being real nice to me on this set. I sure do appreciate it. Thanks so much. Stick around. Dave Stamey's up, coming right up. Don't you dare move. Thank you, friends.
Pappy Stuckey, everybody. AKA Dave Stuckey. Good stuff, huh? Good stuff. So, continuing with the show now, I want to introduce to you our headliner tonight. He's one of the most prolific singer-songwriters in the whole Western genre. In fact, he has 11 CDs for sale over there, just as an example, and a book titled The First 25 Years. Now, 30 years on, here we are. We've had him here at Campus JAX several times. And now that we've got the inside showroom set up, you get to see him in all the comfort, all the sound. We're streaming this live tonight. So if you want to share it with your friends, just tell them to tune in to Campus JAX on Facebook. And you'll see the entire show. I would list all of his accomplishments, but you wouldn't be here tonight if you didn't already know his accomplishments. So here he is, folks. The Charles Russell of Western music. Mr. Dave Stamey.
All right, all right. Did you like Pappy Stuckey? Wasn't he great? Playing all those adult chords on that guitar, it's great. I said goodbye to my mother, to my father, all the other friends I knew. I headed west to seek my fortune and chase the foolish dream that has no end. And I climbed the far blue mountains, higher than any tree could grow. I never found the gold or silver. All I did was stumble down the other side to a land so burnt and twisted, to a country as barren as the moon. I hope to find the El Dorado. All I found were these hollow winds that blow, all these desert winds. In a saloon on the Mojave, where they nailed coyote pelts above the door, my tumbled, broken dreams found me underneath the greasy lantern's glow, where men with eyes so red and haunted, eyes that burn from the corners of the room, wait and watch with desperate hunger, weighing every chance, every move. There are no roads, there are no borders, no outpost of heaven or of hell. God left here for better country, and the devils dance in canyons far below. In these desert winds, I have fallen off the edge of the world, and no one here will ever speak my name. I have fallen off the edge of the world, and the air is like a furnace. The blood runs through my fingers and mingles with the dust blown by the desert winds. In an unforgiving canyon where the hills broke against a blazing sky, the gold at last it found me. The nuggets burned like embers in my hand. But when gold buys the whiskey, it leaves a scent upon the breeze, and like hounds they tracked and found me. Their rifle shot with my dreams away. They know that dead men tell no stories, and his devils dance in their canyons far below. And my blood streaks the rocks I stumble on, I hear them close behind. In these desert winds, I have fallen off the edge of the world, and no one here will ever speak my name. I have fallen off the edge of the world, and the air is like a furnace. The blood runs through my fingers, mingles with the dust blown by the desert wind. If I was smoke from a lantern, if I could rise so weightless in the air, I would climb the far blue mountains, and like my dreams be carried far away on these desert winds. I have fallen off the edge of the world, and no one here will ever speak my name. I have fallen off the edge of the world, and the air is like a furnace. The blood runs through my fingers, mingles with the dust blown by the desert winds. Oh. Oh. Thank you so very, very much. Oh. I'm gonna quit writing songs that have so damn many words in them. This is a song I thought if If Frank Sinatra ever came back and wanted to be a cowboy singer, this would be a good one for him to do. And I realized I wasn't doing myself any favors by pitching my songs to dead people. Out these desert trails, in the glow of early morning, these desert trails, all the glitter in the dawning. Watch them shine, there are diamonds in the sand on this morning ride. Along these desert trails, these desert trails, with their yellows, browns, and crimson. These desert trails make the heart so light and winsome. Your eyes they shine, I reach out and touch your hand on this morning ride. Along these desert trails, some may look and find only a barren plain. Out in how's it go? Of glaring blue, but all I have to do is softly speak your name, and as with springtime rain, the desert blooms. These desert trails will stay where love has found us. On these desert trails, where there's wonderland around us, how these will shine just like diamonds in the sand. And I am by your side along these desert trails. Some may look and find only a barren plain, a dry and sunburnt stretch of glaring blue. But all I have to do is softly speak your name, and as with springtime rain, the desert blooms. These desert trails, we'll stay where love has found us. On these desert trails, where there's wonderland around us, how these will shine just like diamonds in the sand. And I am by your side along these desert trails on this morning ride. Along these desert trails, it's paradise. Along these desert trails. Oh, thank you very, very much. Now, I'm going to, for those of you who are not, see, I have several people in this audience, a great number of them, as a matter of fact, who are brethren of mine. Yes, that's absolutely horseback brethren of mine, and we have a little song that we need to do. And for those of you who aren't members of this brotherhood, that's quite all right. There will be an upcoming thing in here where you will have an opportunity to sing back at me, and after about the first time through, you'll get it. Okay, you'll get it. It'll be fine. It happens in the spring of the year. We gather up all of our gear, come from far and near to old California. For us, tradition is real. It's just part of the deal. From our hats to the spurs on our heels, he's like the old-time drovers. We are the sons of Portola. We throw off all of the leashes, come from the farthest reaches, from the mountains down to the beaches of old Balboa. A band of like-minded men for the chance to go riding again across these hills like the wind, these carefree rovers. Here we go. We are the sons of Portola. We will ride, ride with pride. We will ride forever. We are the sons of Portola. This is the most true part of the song right here coming up. We ride with a drink in our hands. We ride though not all of us can, but we all understand it's on our shoulders to keep this tradition alive. Make certain that it survives, so a new generation will ride with the estimados. We are the sons of Portola. We will ride, ride with pride. We will ride forever. We are the sons of Portola. Portola. All right. And we don't want to exclude anybody here, but I just wanted to make sure I included everybody. That's right. Now, Pappy mentioned the fact that we had performed at a festival together several times in the past, and there was I hope it's still going to continue as a festival we've done for the last 25 years down in Santa Clarita. The Santa Clarita Cowboy Festival. It's a great event, and for years it was held at the Melody Ranch movie set down there. which was a lot of fun to get to perform on the street of that movie set. And that's where they filmed. Gunsmoke was filmed, all of that. Gunsmoke was filmed there, and High Noon was filmed there. The old Deadwood series was filmed there. And it was on the street of that movie set is where I met the guy that's in this next song. And he was, when I met him, he was dressed up to look like Gabby Hayes. Yeah, and he had a horse with him, and he had a German Shepherd dog, and he was trying to do a demonstration of how you trained animals for the movies. He was trying to get the horse to rear up and count to 5 with its hoof, I guess, and the horse, of course, he wouldn't do anything. He couldn't get the dog to chase a ball. It was terrible, but it didn't bother him. He just rolled right into the next trick, whatever it was, which never happened either. But, and after he was done with his demonstration, I went up and talked to him and got his story, or at least what he wanted me to think was his story. And you probably run into him a lot in this part of the country because he was the guy. He was the guy who was almost in every Western movie ever made. All he needed was that one break, you know, and he knew everybody, but he never quite got the break either, any more than that horse did anything. Andy Devine was a buddy of mine. I knowed him since I was a kid. Said he could get me work as an extra, but you know, he never did. He'd buy the drinks on Saturday night at the Big Bear Bar and Grill. Along about midnight, he'd wander off, looking for old Wild Bill. Never forget Smiley Burnett. I met him in Mexico. He could play the zither like nobody's business. You'd hear him on the radio. And we'd drink coffee at the laundromat while the dryers tumbled around. He'd call Gene for a limousine to take us on into town. And John Wayne lost my number, leastways he never called. And Roy Rogers forgot my name. I think I hated that most of all. Slim Pickens dated my sister. We never did get along. He pestered me like the devil himself. He wanted me to write him a song. Then he ran off with a female jockey who lived on the canyon's rim. And he never cashed my check. Never heard from him again. Leo Carrillo offered me a part in his picture show. Said he was making a comeback. I told him I didn't know. And they gave the part to Gabby Hayes, but the picture never did get made. Me and old Leo went down to the park. We're sitting here in the shade. And John Wayne lost my number, leastways he never called. Roy Rogers forgot my name, and I think I hated that most of all. Andy Devine was a buddy buddy of mine. I knowed him since I was a kid. Said he could get me work as an extra, but you know, he never did. But he'd buy the drinks on Saturday night at the Big Red Bar and Grill. Along about midnight, he'd wander off, looking for old Wild Bill. Looking for old Wild Bill. Looking for old Wild Bill. Thanks very much. Well, when this COVID thing happened, yeah, I'd done a thing in Idaho, and I was on my way back to Salt Lake City to get on a plane, and the world lost its mind. It was amazing. And by the time I got back home, everything I had booked from March into the first part of July had just evaporated like that. So I ended up for 3 months sitting on my front porch in the morning writing songs. That's all I did. And ask my wife, she will attest to the fact, like, oh, Jesus Christ, that's all he did. Sit on his fat butt on the front porch. And so I've got a couple of them here, a couple of new ones that I'm going to play for you. This one is one that occurred to me. She got tired of me sitting on the front porch. I was having a great time. And she said, let's get up there and blow the smoke off, buddy. Let's move a little bit. So she made me take a walk around the trees outside of our place, and I noticed something. And I wrote a song about it. I think we were about 6 weeks into the shutdown, you know, and then I was getting a little wall-eyed and a little kind of paranoid and everything. Neurotic, I think is the word, but anyway, I still think this song is true. I know I'm not the only one who noticed this. Well, there's too many crows sitting in the trees and waiting. Too many crows. They're congregating, calculating, don't you suppose? They got something up their sleeves. They're strutting all around like disapproving waiters, like a night on the town. In their spats and gaiters with their racket-cutting sound. They're laughing at everything they see. Well, it's awfully suspicious. Let me whisper in your ear. There's 3 times as many as there were last year, and they are up to no good. I can feel it in my bones, like some Hitchcock movie, just waiting to explode. There's too damn many crows. Just saying. They got mean little eyes, and they're smarter than you think they are. They clutter up the skies. They're gonna go too far, don't be surprised when their schemes are exposed. Give them half a chance, they'll steal your silverware. Watch them float and dance. Black wings fill the air, they're planning their advance as their numbers grow. Well, it's awfully suspicious. Hey, let me whisper in your ear. There's 5 times as many as there were last year, feel it in my bones. Like some Hitchcock movie, just waiting to explode. There's too damn many crows. Too many crows sitting in the trees and waiting. Too many crows, they are congregating. They're calculating, don't you suppose? They got something up their sleeves. There's too damn many crows. See? I know I'm not the only one who's noticed this. Now, settle down. Now this is another one of those porch music songs, and this is for some reason this is a Catholic song, and I'm not Catholic, so I don't know where this came from. But this song has catechism in it, and it's a mystery to me, but. You know, as a songwriter, you have to accept all songs that come to you, otherwise they quit coming. So anyway. Well, I saw St. Peter sitting at the bar, the devil right there by his side. They were drinking beer, rolling dice for my soul, see which direction I'd slide. They got distracted when the band started playing some mariachis from Mexicali. So I never found out who won the toss. Later I woke up in the alley at the Purgatory Cantina. It's an outcast clientele, the Purgatory Cantina, somewhere between heaven and hell. But there's people in here the devil don't even want. We just ain't worth his time. Our souls are so twisted, they ain't worth a nickel, ain't worth a solitary dime. There's imps flying around, lighting all the lamps. An angel with a broken wing has just picked the pocket of a congressman who's playing liar's poker with a king. At the Purgatory Cantina, it's an outcast clientele, the Purgatory Cantina, somewhere between heaven and hell. Well, I stumbled back inside. Gabriel was on stage, picking his Gibson guitar. I hollered for Freebird, but he couldn't play it. I headed straight for the bar, but you can't buy a drink with 16 cents, and my credit was never very good. So I bummed $5 off some demon girl and told her I'd pay her when I could. At the Purgatory Cantina, it's an outcast clientele, the Purgatory Cantina, somewhere between heaven and hell, somewhere between heaven and hell. somewhere between heaven and hell. You must accept all songs. It's just the deal. It's just the deal. And we'll do this. This is another one of those porch music songs, and we're actually in the studio working on these things. Well, not right now. I'm here, but presently. For the sake of the moon, I'll stay here a minute. Vision in silver, it'll vanish too soon. It's shining so brightly, there's a smile there within it. So I'll wait a while for the sake of the moon. The hour is late, and I should move along, but I hear the stars and they're humming the tune. If places we linger are where we belong, I'll linger here for the sake of the moon. Such an artist at work to please and inspire. The least we can do is stop and admire. For the sake of the moon, I put my worries aside, for this is a moment that'll vanish too soon. The places we linger are where we belong. I'll linger here for the sake of the moon. I'll linger here for the sake of the moon. Thanks very much. Thank you very, very much. We're this is well, we had a nice little visit here just before we started the show with some folks, and they had their pup with them here, and I think, where are you? Okay, so this is for anybody who's ever had a good dog, huh? I got a good dog. He follows me everywhere that I go. A friendly dog, glad to know everybody that I know. The truck's his favorite place, with wind in his face, makes his big heart race, 'cause he's a good dog. He's a happy dog. He thumps his tail every time I come in sight. Not a yappy dog. He barks a little, he don't hardly ever bite. He don't work no cows, he never did learn how, but I take him along anyhow, 'cause he's a good dog. Getting a little gray around the muzzle, I'll pretend again, so am I. When I'm blue and life has got me puzzled, he puts his chin on my knee and he looks me in the eye. He's my dog, right there anytime I need him. A mighty fine dog, always ready for me to get up and feed him. And he helps me with the chores, and then he lays there on the floor in case I want him for something more, 'cause he's a good dog. Getting a little gray around the muzzle, ah, but then again, so am I. When I'm blue and life has got me puzzled, he puts his chin on my knee and looks me in the eye. I got a good dog, follows me everywhere that I go. A friendly dog, glad to know everybody that I know. The truck's his favorite place, with the wind in his face, makes his big heart race, 'cause he's a good dog. He don't chase no sticks, he don't know many tricks, but he'll give you a million licks, 'cause he's a good dog. His name is Simon, my dog is. He is getting a little gray around the muzzle, I'll tell you. He's a Lab Border Collie cross, which is a really good cross. It's because the Labrador part tempers down that neurotic Border Collie thing. His picture's on the front cover of the CD that's got that song on it. He's very excited about that. Very much so. Because he's a good dog. Yes, that's right. You guys are all looking really good. I wanted to compliment you. I see everybody's out here dressed in their finest Western regalia. A lot of cowboy hats and stuff. It's great. Because being a cowboy, really, that's the only occupation that I'm aware of where people want to dress up like you. I mean, nobody came here dressed like a doctor. Did they, Pete? Huh? No. But there might be some doctors here dressed like cowboys, and maybe even some attorneys. I don't know. I don't know you people. It's hard to get an attorney into a corral. We had one that showed up at the ranch there, and he stepped into some horse manure, and it scared him to death. He thought he was melting. And I realized, yes, I know. I realized that there's probably an attorney or two here in the audience this evening, and he might have had a little problem with that joke, but get over it. So this is a song for all of us who ever looked for salvation through our wardrobe, huh? If I had a big white flashy horse wouldn't be the kind of guy that I appear to be. 'Cause I'd be different, I'd be better, I'd be a hero, riding down to the letter, and all them pretty women would be after me. 'Cause I'd be Tom Mix, I'd be the Lone Ranger, I'd be John Wayne, the tall dark stranger. I could ride into danger, 'cause I'd be brave, of course. People would look up to me, 'cause I'd be something that they could aspire to be, and this would all be possible if I just had a horse. If I had a hat, a 10-gallon Stetson hat, I'd look so sharp all my friends would be amazed. 'Cause I could tip it to the ladies, and my nose would always be shady, and underneath the brim I'd have a Gary Cooper gaze. Yep, and I'd be Tom Mix, I'd be the Lone Ranger, I'd be Lash LaRue, the tall dark stranger. I could save any widow's ranch in about 8 seconds flat. People would look up to me, 'cause I'd be something that they could aspire to be, and this would all be possible if I just had a hat. Well, you know, clothes and trappings, they don't make the man. I know that's the way it's always gonna be. They can bring out the hero inside, and buddy, that's good enough for me. And if I had some boots, they go so well with my buckskin suit, and I could walk into places I never ever dared to go. With my firm and manly stride, mean guys would just step aside, and I'd be admired by folks I don't even know. And I'd be Gene Autry, I'd be Roy Rogers, I'd have me a sidekick who's an old codger. I could chase down the robbers, and I could recover the loot. People would look up to me, 'cause I'd be something that they could aspire to be. This would all be possible if I just had some boots. 'Cause I'd be Tom Mix, I'd be the Lone Ranger, I'd be John Wayne, the tall dark stranger. I could ride into danger, 'cause I'd be brave, of course. People would look up to me, I'd be something that they could aspire to be, and this would all be possible if I just had a horse. This would all be possible if I just had a horse. Well, let's see. Doggone it, I can't let Pappy be the only guy to do standard stuff here. I better roll out a couple of standards just so you guys know that I know them from whence we came. What's that? That's coming up, but I was going to end with that. If I had to do that now, I'd have to quit. So. So this is a great old cowboy song that everybody knows. It's written by those great old cowboy songwriters, Lerner and Lowe. Yeah, so from a movie that came from a Broadway play that later was turned into a movie called Paint Your Wagon, and famous for the movie that Clint Eastwood kind of sort of almost sang in. Although he didn't sing this song, and this song was actually sung in the movie by a guy named Harve Presnell, who was from Modesto, and they're very proud of that in Modesto. Harve Presnell. I mean, he didn't stay in Modesto or nothing. I mean, he didn't stay there, but nobody stays in Modesto. Way out here, we've got a name for rain and wind and fire. Rain is test, the fire is joy, and they call the wind Mariah. Mariah blows the stars around, sets the clouds to flying. Mariah makes the mountain sound like folks was up there dying. Mariah, Mariah, echo the wind, Mariah. I travel with my wife most of the time. She's with me this evening. Everybody wave at her. Her name's Melissa. Hi, Melissa. Now, she's always on me to remind people that if they know any of these songs and they want to sing along, it's completely all right. We encourage that. We like that when you sing along. It's very cool as long as you're singing this same song I'm singing. And this one's real easy because the chorus only has like 4 words in it. It's also which is very handy if you're playing in a venue such as this where alcohol is involved. You know, I want to make sure everybody can still get behind it. So I'm going to run this booger down and shoot one more time, and let's see if everybody can join in on the chorus. Here we go. We're just going to do the chorus. You don't have to sing the verse. Let's try it. Here we go. Mariah, Mariah, echo the wind, Mariah. Well, that was a little tepid. I mean, quite a few of you sang. I was impressed, but a lot of you didn't do diddly squat. You know who you are. It's just a song, guys. It's not a commitment or anything. What we're looking for is volume. We don't want quality, we just want volume. It's a lot like rap music that way. So let's try this again. Now, and I know the deal. Okay, I know the deal. Everybody's worried about singing in public because they think that people are looking at them. So here's the deal. We're gonna go through this one more time here, and this time, nobody look at anybody else, okay? Mariah, there it is, yeah. Mariah, echo the wind, Mariah. Before I knew Mariah's name and heard her wail and whining, I had a gal and she had me, and the sun was always shining. And then one day I left my gal, I left her far behind me, and now I'm lost, so doggone lost. Not even God can find me. Mariah, Mariah, they call the wind Mariah. Out here we've got a name for rain, for wind and fire only. But when you're lost and all alone, there ain't no word but lonely. Now I'm a lost and lonely man, without a star to guide me. Mariah, my love to me, I need my gal beside me. Mariah, Mariah, there go the wind, Mariah, 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 my love to me. God, you guys got me all excited. That's wonderful. Whew. I think, yes, I think so. She said she thinks she ought to go on tour. Everybody should go on tour with me, and I think that, boy, it'll be like the Grateful Dead coming into town, wouldn't it? Just take over everything. That sounds like a hell of an idea to me. I don't pay travel, though. Sorry. Just got back from a little 5-day swing through the great state of Montana, and had a grand time there, and got to see a bunch of friends and play a little music. And it's always an emotional experience for me to go back to that state. That's my home state. I was raised there, and the bell rings pretty heavy for me when we get into that country, and so I thought I would maybe do a little song about it here. When I was a kid, the snow would drift high on the barn. Before daylight broke, I'd be out with a bucket on my arm, and the cattle would wash through the dark and the cold, with steam in their breath and ice in their coats. The snow beneath my boots would glitter and squeak, while the bones of the buffalo buried so deep. Montana, my father gave me Montana. No matter where I go, it carries me. When I look inside, I see Montana. He took us up there where he said a man still had a chance, to the alkali flats and the mud of a hard scrabble ranch. My mother's mouth got thin and hard. The sage grew up round the edge of the yard, and I learned how to cuss, how to spit like a man. I learned the way dreams can slip through your hands. Montana, my father gave me Montana. Montana. No matter where I go, it carries me. When I look inside, I see Montana. Summers we'd wade in the ditch by the old county road, and the birds would flutter and shriek from the telephone pole. And through the wind in the cottonwoods, soft and low, we heard the ghost of the Sioux and the Crow. So much unsaid between father and son. We packed up and left there in 71. Montana. My father gave me Montana. No matter where I go, it carries me. When I look inside, I see Montana. My father gave me Montana. And all I am, all I'll ever be, comes from this gift he gave to me. Montana. Montana. Thanks very much. We had some dancers. That was great. We don't usually get dancers. Now, this is also a kind of a Montana song, although I prefer to do it with an E string that's in tune. Back in the late the late 1870s and the early 1880s, after the Indians had been subjugated up there in that part of the country, a lot of Texas cattle were pushed into the northern ranges of Montana, up around the Lewistown area, the Judith Basin country. Think Lonesome Dove. That's the historical aspects of this particular song. As a matter of fact, in Big Timber, Montana, there is still a pasture that they call the Matador Field, because that's where the great Matador Ranch rested their cattle before the last push up into the Judith Basin, and it's still called that today. And although why the protagonist in this particular song finds himself clear over by Bannock, which is Hellengone on the other side of the state, I have no idea, but you write these things and the people in them do what they do and you have no control whatsoever. When I come from Ireland, I was but 17, half grown, half starved I. This country was wilder than I ever dreamed, and I was full of trial. And the land, she shone like a brand new dime, bright like a fire aglows. She shone brightest when I headed west to the land where cedars grow. I went to working for a freight hauling man. God, that man was mean. We freighted into Texas, a red dirt mine, with never a hint of green. But good night was higher and the trail is heard, so I took my wages old and found myself a horseback headed for the land where cedars grow. pushed them herd through burning sun, through wind and freezing rain. 8,000 miles before we were done, out on them northern plains. Then I took me pay and I headed for town, where the whiskey flows. And I got to drinking and I went to the bad, in the land where cedars grow. One winter's morning, drunken and broke, is where it all came undone. I robbed a coach on the Bannock Road, and I never even fired my gun. And the very next week, well, I done her again, but the driver, he was slow. So I shut him down and I went on the run in the land where cedars grow. To shake the devil's hand, you must follow him to hell. You look him in the eye. Before it was over, he knowed me well, and his brand was on my hide. The deputies that found me one rainy night surprised me on the road, and a bullet in my leg, they finally brought me down in the land where cedars grow. They threw me in jail, they cut off my leg. I'm only 23. I hear the devil laughing from down below, for heaven will never see me. And they'll hang me tomorrow for what I had done, and in the sunset's glow I'll step off to eternity in the land where cedars grow. And the land she shone like a brand new diamond, bright like a fire glow. She shone brightest when I headed west to the land where cedars grow. Could I get any chance I could get a club soda up here? A little water or something? Thank you very much. Coconut water. Oh, that a lot of us here have a mutual friend. His name is Father Donald, and he's from Ireland, and he's a Catholic priest. And for those of you who don't know him, and he was at one of my shows recently, and I saw him. He was in the front row, and I was getting ready to do that song right there, and since there was somebody from Ireland in the song, oh, thank you very much. Thank you, sir. I said to myself, oh, there's Father Donald. He's from Ireland. I'll dedicate this to him. So I did, and then I got to that part where it was like, to shake the devil's hand, and heaven will never see me, and it was a long way to the end of that booger, I'll tell you what. And then I saw him in the lobby after the show, and I went up to him, Father Donald, I'm sorry. He goes, I've already forgiven you. He said, but you know, lad, a one-legged Irishman is not going to step off of anything. He'd pretty much have to hop, wouldn't he? Well, let's see. I've done almost an hour here where I've picked all the songs. Do you guys have anything in particular you want to? sleep in a bedroll of canvas. No seams feed on your ears. Wind blows the dust just like buckshot, and I ain't never seen it rain much out here. Smell your own sweat in the evening. I wash up at the galvanized tank. Nearest town, 40 miles. The cook here, he don't smile, and all these young horses are rank. But come and tie yippee-yi-yo on the back of my caballo. I'll whip it down on when I can. My spurs, they don't ring much. I never did sing much, but I'm sure now a buckaroo man. Cold fingers stiff in the morning, and by noon it's 103. 5-year-old slicks in the canyon, and never a hint of a breeze. Jug-headed, hollow-back ponies provide all with hours of grief. There's snakes in the shade, choya on the grade, and a half a ton of grit between my teeth. But come a tie yippee-yi-yo on the back of my caballo. I'll whip it down when I can. My spurs, they don't ring much. I never did sing much, but I'm sure now a buckaroo man. I said, come and tie yippee-yi-yo on the back of my caballo. I'll whip it down when I can. My spurs, they don't ring much. I never did sing much, but I'm sure now a buckaroo man. A buckaroo. Oh, thank you very much. Thanks for singing along. You have an opportunity to do some more here just in a second. I'm putting all those in my head. I know what you said. Well, listen, I just had the opportunity to travel to Tonopah again, and we played the opening for the new Belvada Hotel there in Tonopah. Some folks from the wine country in the Napa-Sonoma area have some family connections to Tonopah all the way back to 1906, and they have bought up several buildings there in Tonopah. They revamped completely the Mizpah Hotel and turned it into just a shiny destination there. And then across the road was an old bank building that they turned into a hotel called the Belvada. And so they've always been very nice to me in Tonopah, and they like this song there. So you guys got to help me now. Sing the oohs here, right? I carry my saddle by the side of the road. Hard rain's falling and the wind blowing cold. East across the mountains, hear Nevada sing, telling me it's time to hurry home. I would fly cars hurry past, just like the years are flowing so fast. If I can get there, I know I'll be warm. The aching in my bones will soon be gone. I fear the darkness of this coming storm as I journey back to Tonopah. Help me now, here we go. Calling me back to Tonopah. There I was young, there I was brave, there was a warm kiss waiting at the end of the day. Everything I wanted, I left waiting there. Now I see the things I never saw. My dreams are shattered now and no one cares. So I'm going back to Tonopah. Help me with the U's, here we go. I know that I'll be young again. I'll touch my woman's face and things will be as they were then. Bad horses, work and whiskey have left me tired and sore, and I've got no use for wandering anymore. I turn up my collar, turn my face to the wind. Trucks rumble by. It seems my chances are slim. East across the mountains, hear Nevada sing, telling me it's time to hurry home. I pick up my saddle and head for all the things I left waiting there in Tonopah. Last time, here we go. Oh, the night is falling. Oh, hear Nevada calling. Hot, dry, and wind blowing. Well, at a hack stable or a branding pen, any place you might find bow-legged men, ask any old hound, he's bound to say he's got the answer to the bronc ballet. If your pony breaks in two, there's certain things a fella needs to do, and if you follow this advice down to the letter, your buck-off average is bound to get better. Only problem is you can't find 2 in 10,000 of them who'll tell you the same thing. There's those that'll tell you it's in your seat or in the way a fella holds his feet. You gotta sit back a little and drop your heels. If you try it a few times, you'll see how it feels. Others say the thing to do is jerk him sideways a time or two, pull his head around to the left or the right and break his momentum, and he'll give up the fight. Oh yeah, don't forget to stay loose. Others say to rake some fur, get aggressive, use your spurs. Jab them gut hooks into his side and bust him into a run that's easier to ride, and he probably won't go through a fence. Stay relaxed now, don't get tense. If you happen to run you up underneath a tree, remember, decapitation is preferable to a buck-off, because a buck-off is damned embarrassing. Don't worry, they can probably sew that ear back on. Some say it's a shame to rake to grab the horn. Others say there's no scorn for those of us who must go pulling leather. Staying alive's always better. Problem is, it happens way too fast. You ain't got a chance to gather your slack. He gives a grunt, he leaves the ground, he farts you off, and then he drags you around. It's very difficult to catch your breath when something like that happens. The thing is, the guys who tell you this stuff, they actually like it when things get rough. They say they don't want to see you break your neck, but they do enjoy watching a good wreck. They've been bucked off themselves a time or two. They ain't gonna make it easier for you. The secret they're keeping to themselves, of course, is the best way to handle a snorty horse is let some other idiot ride him. If you see your stirrups slapped together above the saddle horn, damned if I don't think you're bucked off. Now, thank you very much. This is going to be the romantic part of the show. Okay? This is it. This is the romantic part. I'm going to do this for my brother Hook, who yes, I am, absolutely. I'm going to do this. He's had plenty of romances, and he's used this song. He's used the hell out of this song. Yes. And that's what these songs are for, okay? These songs are for using. Take them out and use them. That's the deal. So, gentlemen, if you are here with your significant other, and if you need to make points, and I believe you do, this is the chance that you will get to make points. Take her, and you can waltz with her on this deal. I have a. We were in Colorado doing a festival, and we had done it. This was the second year in a row that we had done this, and I was standing in the lobby after a performance, and this old rancher guy came up to me, and he was in his early 80s, I think, and he was all kind of bent and stove up, you know how they get. And he said, "You were here last year." I said, "Yes, sir, I was." "Yeah, we seen you." He said, we bought one of them records of yours too. records. And I said, well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. I hope you enjoyed it. He said, yeah, we had it in the truck there. We was going home, and we was listening at it. Yeah. He said, yeah, and that campfire waltz song of yours came on. I said, yeah. I said, well, good. Yeah. So we listened for a minute now, and I said, oh, to hell with it, and I pulled off the side of the road and jerked Mama out of the truck. We waltzed right there next to the highway. I said, thank you very much. Every once in a while, you get reminded why you do these things, huh? At a camp at the edge of a meadow where the water runs glassy and clean, the horses are turned out and grazing. There on the grass, so tall and so green, and the moon rises over the ridgeline, and the sky is a blanket of stars, and the campfire crackles in three-quarter time as you slip into my arms, and we dance to the campfire waltz, and the night breezes sing out your name, and we turn and we sway, and the cares of the day drift away like the sparks from a flame. Out here where the wild things are, the melody rises and falls on a pine needle dance floor with you in my arms. We dance to the campfire waltz. I'm impressed. Only two guys here needed to make points. Newport Beach, home of the happy marriage. Who knew, huh? All the music of the mountains surrounds us. The wind like an old violin. The trees seem to gather around us to watch as we sway and circle and spin, and I wish we could dance here forever, but the world waits for us far below. Yet I will always remember the shine of your hair in the firelight's glow as we dance to the campfire waltz, and the night breezes sing out your name, and we turn and we sway, and the cares of the day drift away like the sparks from a flame. Out here where the wild things are, the melody rises and falls on a pine needle dance floor with you in my arms. We dance to to the campfire waltz. On a pine needle dance, Lord, with you in my arms, we dance to the campfire waltz. Ah, thanks to the dancers. This one was requested. How many of you have been to Death Valley? Huh? Most of us, I think, probably. Yeah, okay. If you drive into Death Valley from the west side, you're going to go over Towns Pass, and as you drop down onto the eastern slope of Towns Pass, about 3/4 of the way down, before you get to Stovepipe Wells, there is an old ranger station off to the right. It's a rock building. It's an abandoned ranger station now. It's not being used, but the last time we were up through that country, I stopped and made Melissa take a picture of me sitting on the porch, because it was there in 1947 that a young man named Stan Jones, who was working as a forest ranger in Death Valley. Think about that for a minute. Had a lot of time on his hands wandering around looking for trees. Huh? Anyway, one Sunday morning, he was outside on the back porch of that ranger station, and he had his little Martin tenor guitar out there with him, and he hollered for his wife, Olive. He said, "Olive, come out here and bring your notebook. I think I got something." And he had indeed got something. And he took this song to Hollywood, where the first person to record it was a guy named Burl Ives. And but a guy named Vaughn Monroe heard the song and rushed into the studio with his orchestra and recorded it and released his version before Burl could get his out. Kind of a dirty trick, but that's what happened. Now, 6 months later, in 1948, Stan Jones had still never heard his song on the radio. He hadn't yet. But he received his first royalty check for $100,000. In 1948, that was a buttload of money. That was a lot of bucks, boy. First thing he did was run out and buy a new Buick automobile that had a radio in it. Piled his wife and some friends into that car, and they drove up into the Panamint Mountains on the west side where they could get radio reception, because he heard that his song was going to be on the Lucky Strike hit parade on Friday night. And by God, he was going to hear it. So the way they used to do that on the Lucky Strike hit parade is they had a guest singer, and that singer would sing the top 10 songs, all of them. And that night it was Frank Sinatra. So the first time that Stan Jones ever heard his song, it was #1, and Frank Sinatra sang it. The greatest cowboy song ever written. Cowpoke went riding out one dark and windy day. On the ridge he rested as he went along his way. When all at once somebody heard of red-eyed cows he saw plowing through the ragged sky and up the cloudy draw. The brands are still on fire, the hooves are made of steel. The horns are black and shiny, and their hot breath he could feel. A bolt of fear went through him as they thundered through the sky, for he saw the riders coming hard, and he heard the mournful cry. Ghost riders in the sky, their faces gaunt, their eyes are blurred, their shirts all soaked with sweat. Riding hard to catch that herd, but they ain't caught 'em yet. Oh, they got a ride for heaven on that range up in the sky, on the horses snorting fire. As they ride on, hear their crying. Ghost riders in the sky, instrumental refrain. So enough of that. As the riders loped on by him, he heard one call his name. If you want to save your soul from ever riding on our range, well then, cowboy, change your ways today, or with us you will ride, trying to catch the devil's herd across these endless skies. Ghost riders in the sky. 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 Ah! All right. In the Tonopah Club in Tonopah, Nevada in 1968. Slot machines are rattling, the cigarette smoke. Everybody's feeling great. Through the vinyl and the velvet, oh, there's a neon American dream. Roy played piano, Ruby would sing. My God, how Ruby could sing. It's 3 a.m. in the cocktail lounge, the music rings out clear. They've been everywhere from Mexicali to Nome, and somehow they wound up here. The middle of Nevada boomtown, that's just about run out of steam. Old Roy played piano and Ruby would sing. My God, how Ruby could sing. And she'd sing, please don't talk about me when I'm gone. And some of these days you're gonna be so lonely. Yes, you are. Bill Bailey, you rascal, won't you please come home? And who's sorry now? Yes, Ruby would sing. My God, how Ruby could sing. She growled just like an old flathead Ford. Her pipes were deep and rich. She'd sing while the Buicks and the Pontiacs roll up old Highway 6. Put $1 in the kitty, boys. You can ask 'em for anything. 'Cause old Roy was born to pound that piano, and he'd smile when Ruby would sing. And she'd sing, sit riding down, I'm gonna write myself a letter. Old Man River, round the quarter to 9. Yes, she would, it would not back on your tuck and roll when Ruby's hanging old lace in the hole. Yes, Ruby would sing. My God, how Ruby could sing. Well, the mines have shut down. The old brick casino stands empty in the wind. Out on the highway sits them old tail-fin Cadillacs are never coming back again. But you listen close, you can hear the echo of music true love can bring. When Roy played piano and Ruby would sing, my God, how Ruby could sing. And she'd sing, please don't talk about me when I'm gone. And some of these days you are gonna be so lonely. Yes, you are. I wanna tell you, it would knock you right back on your tuck and roll when Ruby sang that old ace in the hole. Yes, Ruby would sing, my God, how Ruby would sing. How Ruby would sing, my God, how Ruby could sing. Thank you very, very much, you guys. Thanks for coming out. Appreciate it. Thank you to Campus JAX. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Pappy. Appreciate it.
Okay, guys, that's our show because nobody wants another one, I know. You want one? One guy wants one more. Anybody else? Oh, that's what I thought. Okay.
I'm running this show. Thank you very, very much. I do appreciate that. Thank you so very much. Thanks for coming this evening. And it's so, how good is it to be inside not wearing masks? God damn it. Yes. Come ride with me. It's time to saddle up and ride away. There's so much to see. Don't worry, I know the trails, I know the way. I caught a gentle horse, his eyes are big and brown. He's ready to carry you the whole world around. Come ride with me. Let's ride away. Come take a chance. I'll show you where the mountains touch the sky. It's a horseback dance. We can ride forever if we try. A dream in the distance, there for you to chase. Out in the sunrise with the wind on your face. Come ride with me. Let's ride away. The smell of the leather, the sunlight on your skin, got us aching to begin. The rumble of hoof beats much stronger than wine. The dust in your hair, all the light in your eyes. Come ride with me around the hills and watch the eagles soar. It's where you want to be. Tell me just what you're waiting for. I would camp near the middle and love the night away, and saddle up again when the dawn is turning gray. Come ride with me, let's ride away. The smell of the leather, the sunlight on your skin, it got us aching to begin. The rumble of hoofbeats much stronger than wine, the dust in your hair, all the light in your eyes. Come ride with me, or run the hills and watch the eagles soar. It's where you need to be. Tell me just what you're waiting for. Oh, we're camping near the middle and we'll love the night away, and saddle up again when the dawn is turning gray. Come ride with me, let's ride away. Come ride with me, come ride with me today. Come ride with me, yeah, come ride with me, yeah, come ride with me. Thank you very, very much. Appreciate it.
Dang, there's nothing I can say after a show like that. I mean, what are you going to say? So thank you. I just hope you can all join us this coming Wednesday when we have a surf showcase. The Surfaris are going to be right here on this stage Wednesday night. Might have a couple seats left. It's just about sold out. And then October 10, the Quaby Sisters. November 10, we have Reckless Kelly with Mike and the Motor Cars. And, July 3, don't miss the Dave and Deke combo, Saturday night, July 3, along with Big Sandy and Abby Girl. Thank you all for coming. That's our show, Eclectic American Roots. Good night.
The best thing you could do when the ignorance shows is walk on to your own. Keep them on their toes. If you never grow up, you ought to stay that way. 'Cause you can't learn what you ain't gotta change. Just listen to your heart. Listen to the rain. Listen to whatever it is that keeps you sane. Now I don't have to tell it, 'cause you already know. Walk on to your own beat. You keep them on their toes. Keep them on their toes, your business out of sight, and make them look left if you're gonna hang right. If the pot's hot, don't let them see your hand. Make them gotta know what they wouldn't understand. The best thing you can do when the ignorance shows is walk on to your own beat. Keep them on their toes. I don't have to tell it, 'cause y'all already know. Walk on to your own beat. Keep them on their toes.
waters of the